Welcome, this is Andy here, and another DWP related story. It's been highlighted because of the Kendall situation. Kendall Mint, she has no idea what she's doing, because on the one hand, she's telling people that everybody should get a job, yet there's probably going to be around about 500 plus DWP staff who are going to lose their jobs. One would have thought that if you have a system, you're going to sort of influx of people coming in who are going to be claiming it, benefits or whatever, and working, possibly with UC or other things, you would want to have more staff, not less. Point is that they are facing losing their jobs just at the same time that the government are saying that they want to support people, chronically ill, disabled and non-working people into jobs. And yeah, so it's a bit controversial, isn't it? So this story was in the Canaries. Let's go and have a look at that right now.
500 DWP staff face losing their jobs, showing Kendall has no idea what she's doing. Hundreds of Department for Work and Pensions, DWP, staff are facing losing their jobs, just as the Labour Party government is claiming it wants to support chronically ill, disabled and non-working people into employment. The news flies in the face of the government's claims, and shows that, far from a thought-out policy, the DWP is merely enacting cuts for the sake of cuts, while allowing the loss of countless departmental staff. 500 DWP staff face losing their jobs. As Civil Service World reported, the Public and Commercial Services, PCs, union warns that around 500 DWP employees could lose their jobs and their right to remain in the UK due to a peculiar quirk in how the department calculates hourly pay. While 35 members have already been forced out, the impact may escalate, undermining efforts at a time when the government is trying to force chronically ill and disabled people into work. One of those affected is Farouk Ahmed, an enforcement case manager for the Child Maintenance Service, who joined DWP in January 2024 on a graduate visa. His plan was to transition to a skilled worker visa before the graduate visa expired. Ahmed's starting salary of £29,500 was above the skilled worker visa threshold at the time of his hire. But after the government raised salary requirements in April 2024, DWP's pay policy prevented him from applying within the necessary timeframe. The complication arises because DWP pays its staff for lunch breaks, effectively spreading the salary over a 42-hour week rather than the standard 37 hours. Although Ahmed's nominal salary met the threshold for new entrant visa rules, his hourly pay fell below the required level when calculated with DWP's unusual methodology. £14.18 per hour instead of the £15.88 per hour required. Consequently, his application for leave to remain on a discretionary basis was refused, forcing him to leave his role and return to Nigeria. Exacerbating existing chaos. PCs highlights that this pay policy is unique to DWP and exacerbates a recruitment crisis in a department already paying below civil service median salaries. The median DWP salary is £29,500 compared to a civil service-wide median of £33,980, and the Home Office, the only department with a lower median salary, stands at £29,400. This means DWP officials must earn significantly more than their average pay to meet visa thresholds, which is often unrealistic given current pay scales. Despite PCs proposing a contract variation to resolve the issue, DWP has reportedly rejected such changes, citing Home Office guidelines. In a letter to Keir Starmer, PCs called for urgent intervention to prevent the loss of experienced staff and the further deterioration of the department's workforce. The letter said, Farouk is one of many of the human beings behind the statistics that, but for being in a low-paying department and being paid for lunch breaks, would still be working in the DWP. Amid a shortage of 2,100 work coaches, the letter noted that, it is therefore incredible that as DWP is facing a staffing crisis, government's own rules are forcing 500 or more experienced, highly qualified, university-educated staff that are delivering services to the most vulnerable people in the UK, out of the department. This staffing crisis is particularly dangerous given the government's emphasis on encouraging benefit recipients back into employment, a process heavily reliant on work coaches and case managers. DWP cuts are cruel ideology, and nothing more. The DWP has acknowledged a shortage of roughly 2,100 work coaches, yet the Labour government has not committed to employ any more. Losing skilled, trained workers due to administrative and policy issues threatens to deepen this shortfall and hinder efforts to reduce unemployment and support welfare recipients. Ahmed's case reflects the personal toll of these policies. Having paid more than £22,000 in university fees to study in the UK and committed himself to public service, he describes feeling used and betrayed by the very institution he served. He fears the precariousness of his situation will impact not just him, but his family in Nigeria who depend on his support. A DWP spokesperson stated the department takes staff welfare seriously and continues to support those on time-limited visas but declined to comment on individual cases. Amid a major staffing shortfall, the DWP cannot afford to lose any more staff, yet here is the Labour government allowing exactly that to happen. It shows that Liz Kendall's cuts to DWP benefits are purely ideological, not grounded in any form of labour market strategy. The loss of even more DWP staff will merely exacerbate the existing cruelty of a department not fit for purpose.
My immediate question there was, why are they employing foreigners who require a visa when there are 65 million people in this country? All right, not all of them are able to work because some of them are children, some of them are elderly. But the workforce, there must be people who are leaving university who could be employed locally, i.e. in the UK. And I know there are people who cannot even get to university because they don't have the necessary support. They need to find placements in order to further their education. So instead of spending money on foreigners, why don't they spend money on UK people and support for that? Anyway, that was just a comment. And of course, the main other thing that was mentioned there was work coaches and managers there, which case managers, which is very important because if they're encouraging people to switch benefits now from legacy, then you see they're going to have more of these, but they obviously haven't not going to employ anymore, and there is a shortfall, as they say, 2,100 they need that they haven't got. Right, that's it. Any comments you have down below, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.